The gravitational anomaly appeared on a Tuesday. Dr. Sarah Chen was reviewing data from the Kuiper Belt Observatory when the numbers stopped making sense. At first, she assumed it was an equipment malfunction, space debris, or a software glitch. But as she cross-referenced the readings with 3 other deep space monitoring stations, her hands began to shake. "Director Harrison," she called, not taking her eyes off the screen. "You need to see this." The massive object was decelerating. Nothing natural moved like that. Within hours, every major observatory on Earth confirmed it. An artificial structure larger than any human spacecraft had entered the solar system. As it settled into orbit beyond Neptune, humanity faced its first irrefutable evidence of alien intelligence. The next 3 months transformed human civilization. Religious institutions wrestled with theological implications. Stock markets oscillated wildly. Military forces worldwide went on high alert. But the object, dubbed the Visitor by the media, remained silent and stationary. "It's waiting," Dr. Chen insisted during the 4th Emergency UN Security Council meeting. She stood before the world's most powerful leaders, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "The deceleration pattern, the orbital position, none of it's random. This is deliberate first contact protocol." General Miranda Santos of the newly formed United Earth Defense Force leaned forward. "And if you're right, Doctor, what exactly is it waiting for?" "Us," Chen replied simply. "To prove we're ready." The decision to send an expedition was unanimous, if not unanimous in its reasoning. Some nations viewed it as a scientific imperative, others a military necessity. The result was the same. Humanity's first interplanetary mission beyond Mars would be to an alien artifact. The UES Discovery, a hastily retrofitted deep space vessel, carried an international crew of 20 scientists, engineers, and military personnel. Dr. Chen insisted on going, despite protests about sending Earth's leading archaeologist. "If we misinterpret what we find," she argued, "we might not get a second chance." As Discovery approached the massive structure, its true scale became apparent. Nearly 2 kilometers of dark, angular metal that absorbed radar and lidar scans like a void in space. Only its gravity gave it substance. "My God," breathed Commander David Patul as they made their final approach. "It's a warship." The vessel's architecture was unmistakably military. Weapon ports, armor plating, and what appeared to be launch bays lined its hull. But it was dead, powerless. Or so they thought. Their first teams entered through an airlock that cycled automatically at their approach. Inside, artificial gravity and life support activated section by section as they advanced, as if the ship was waking up. The air was breathable. The temperature, perfect for human comfort. Too perfect. "This isn't first contact," Dr. Chen realized as she studied the ship's interface panels. "This is a test." She had just finished transmitting her preliminary findings to Earth when they found the message center. Holographic symbols blazed to life, resolving into words in every human language. "To the inheritors of the Theseus protocol, your trial begins now. You have 1 solar revolution to demonstrate worthiness. Failure will result in extinction. Success will grant you the stars." Deep in the ship's core, ancient machinery hummed to life. Data streams older than human civilization began pouring into Earth's networks. The ship wasn't just a vessel, it was a library, a technology archive, and a judgment seat all in one. And somewhere, in the vast darkness between stars, the Concordiate watched to see what humanity would do with their gift, or their curse. As alarms blared and the ship's systems began a countdown, Dr. Chen sent one final message to Earth. "We found what we were looking for. Now we have to prove we deserve it." The race for humanity's survival had begun. But humanity's greatest test wouldn't be mastering the alien technology, it would be transcending it. In her quarters that night, Chen studied the ship's designation, finally translated. Theseus, the mythical hero who proved his worth through trials. They chose that name deliberately, she wrote in her log. This isn't just about technology. It's about evolution, change, becoming something more. General Santos' voice crackled over the intercom. Doctor, we're detecting more anomalies. Multiple signatures, headed toward Earth. Chen closed her eyes. The trial wasn't just beginning. It was accelerating. Ready the teams, she replied. If this is a test, let's show them how humans study. The alien database was beautiful in its complexity. Streams of quantum data flowed through Earth's most advanced supercomputers like digital rivers, each carrying technological secrets beyond human imagination. But Dr. Marcus Wong wasn't interested in the obvious prizes. Look at the gaps, he told his team at the Quantum Analysis Center in Singapore. Every technical schematic, every weapons system, they're giving us answers. But where are the questions? 3 months into humanity's trial period, Earth's scientific community had split into 2 camps. The majority focused on replicating the Concordiate's technology, building better ships, stronger weapons, faster computers. But Wong's team saw something else in the data, deliberate omissions. They're not testing our ability to copy, he explained to the Global Defense Council. They're testing our ability to innovate. At the Theseus itself, Dr. Chen's team made a parallel discovery. The ship isn't dead, she reported. It's incomplete. Key systems are missing, replaced with placeholders. They want to see how we fill in the blanks. The revelation transformed humanity's approach. Instead of merely studying the alien technology, they began questioning it, challenging its fundamental assumptions. Every breakthrough revealed new puzzles. Each solution led to deeper mysteries. In Moscow, Dr. Anya Petrova's team discovered that the alien power systems operated at only 60% efficiency. It's deliberate, she insisted. They're using outdated designs, testing if we'll accept their limitations or push beyond them. The first major breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Kenzo Tanaka, a theoretical physicist from Osaka, found patterns in the quantum data that suggested the aliens' faster-than-light drive was unnecessarily complex. They're using brute force to bend space, he explained. But space-time is more subtle. We can do better. His team's refinements to the alien drive design promised 40% greater efficiency with 30% less energy consumption. When the calculations were uploaded to the Theseus systems, indicators throughout the ship changed from amber to green. They were on the right track, but time was running out. The approaching alien signatures had resolved into a fleet of observation vessels, maintaining distance, but clearly monitoring Earth's progress. Each day brought them closer to their deadline. General Santos coordinated global defense preparations, but she shared Wong's suspicions. If they wanted to destroy us, they could have done it already. This isn't about military strength, it's about potential. The true purpose of the trial became clearer when Dr. Chen's team decrypted more of the ship's historical records. The Concordiate wasn't just an alien empire. It was a collective of species that had each faced similar trials. Those who passed became members, contributing their unique perspectives and innovations to the whole. But there's something they're not telling us, Chen insisted. Every member species shows remarkable technological advancement during their trial period, but their solutions all follow predictable patterns. The Concordiate's technology has evolved, but it hasn't fundamentally changed in millennia. The implications were staggering. Humanity wasn't being tested on their ability to use alien technology. They were being tested on their ability to transcend it. Dr. Wong's team made the final connection. Hidden in the data architecture itself was a message, encrypted in the spaces between information. The greatest chains are the ones we choose to wear. Break them. As the deadline approached, Earth's greatest minds raced to complete their work, but their focus had shifted. Instead of trying to match the Concordiate's level of advancement, they began reimagining it entirely. We're not going to win this by playing their game, Dr. Chen announced to the Unified Earth Council. We're going to win by changing the rules. In orbit, the Theseus hummed with new energy as human innovations began integrating with its ancient systems. The ship was transforming. becoming something neither human nor Concordiate, but something entirely new. The alien observers moved closer, their sensors probing Earth's achievements. What they found would either doom humanity or change the galaxy forever. Dr. Wong smiled as he initiated the final data upload to the Theseus. Let's show them how humans solve puzzles. The Theseus shimmered in Earth's orbit, its hull now traced with lines of ethereal blue light. The visible manifestation of humanity's modifications. What had begun as an alien warship was becoming something unprecedented in the galaxy's history. Integration at 87%, reported Lieutenant Emma Reyes from the ship's newly redesigned bridge. Quantum efficiency exceeding original specifications by 180%. Dr. Chen studied the holographic displays with a mix of pride and apprehension. Human innovation had transformed the vessel's systems far beyond the Concordiate's original design. The ship's artificial intelligence now operated on principles derived from neural networks rather than rigid hierarchical protocols. Its weapons systems had been reimagined as defensive shields that could absorb and redirect energy. Even its hull had been modified at the molecular level, incorporating self-repairing nanomaterials developed by combining Earth's emerging technologies with alien principles. They're accelerating their approach, General Santos announced, watching the incoming Concordiate fleet. 6 vessels, capital class. They'll be here within 48 hours. The timing wasn't coincidental. With less than a week remaining in humanity's trial period, the Concordiate was coming to evaluate their progress. But humanity hadn't simply studied and replicated. They had revolutionized. Dr. Wong's team had made the crucial breakthrough 3 weeks earlier. The Concordiate's technology is based on conquest, he explained during the Emergency Council session. Every system, every design principle assumes the need to dominate space, to bend reality to their will. But humanity's greatest achievements have come from working with natural laws, not against them. This insight had led to a complete reimagining of the alien technology. Instead of forcing faster-than-light travel through brute computational power, they developed a system that surfed gravitational waves. Rather than generating massive energy shields, they created adaptive fields that redirected incoming forces. Each innovation required less energy, less complexity, and produced better results. We're detecting unusual readings from the observation fleet, Lieutenant Reyes reported. They're scanning us intensively. Dr. Chen smiled. Let them look. That's the point. The Theseus was now humanity's proof of concept. Its redesigned systems demonstrated not just technological mastery, but a fundamentally different approach to spacefaring civilization. Where the Concordiate built warships, humanity had created something that could heal itself. Where they designed weapons, Earth had developed protective systems that could defend without destroying. Energy spike. Reyes called out. They're powering weapons. Hold position. General Santos ordered calmly. Let's show them what we've learned. The lead Concordiate vessel fired. Not a warning shot, but a full broadside that would have vaporized the original Theseus. Instead, the human-modified shields caught the energy, channeled it through the ship's new quantum matrices, and used it to power their own systems. Shield efficiency at 125%, Reyes reported with a grin. They just gave us a power boost. The Concordiate ships went silent for several long moments. When communication finally came, it wasn't what anyone expected. The message appeared in all languages as before, but this time it carried a different tone. Unexpected, unprecedented. You have not merely passed the trial. You have transcended it. Dr. Chen stepped forward. We understand now. The trial wasn't about matching your level of technology. It was about proving we could think beyond it. Correct, the response came. In 50,000 years, no species has approached the trial in this manner. All others sought to prove their worthiness by demonstrating mastery of our technology. You are the first to improve upon it. The revelation spread through Earth's communication networks, sparking celebration and relief. But Dr. Wong saw something in the data patterns, a hidden frequency in the Concordiate's transmission. "There's more," he announced. "They're afraid." General Santos raised an eyebrow. "Afraid? Of us? Of change?" Dr. Chen realized. "Their civilization has been stable for millennia because every new species simply adapted to their existing framework. We've just proved that framework can be improved." The Concordiate fleet maintained their position, their sensors still probing the modified Theseus. Earth waited, knowing that the next few moments would determine not just humanity's fate, but potentially the future of galactic civilization. Finally, a new message appeared. "The trial is complete, but you have initiated something we did not anticipate. Evolution cannot be contained. Change cannot be controlled. You have forced us to confront this truth." Dr. Chen looked at the transformed ship around her, a symbol of humanity's unique approach to the universe. "So what happens now?" The response would reshape the galaxy forever. The Concordiate flagship dwarfed the Theseus, its ancient hull bearing the marks of countless civilizations' contributions. As the diplomatic shuttle departed Earth's modified vessel, Dr. Chen couldn't help but notice how utilitarian the alien design was: efficient, powerful, but lacking imagination. "Remember," General Santos briefed the delegation, "we're not here to apologize for innovation. We're here to demonstrate its value." The human delegation, Chen, Santos, Wang, and Lieutenant Reyes, entered the Concordiate vessel through an airlock that seemed unnecessarily complex. Everything about their technology spoke of accumulation rather than refinement, power through complexity rather than elegance. The Concordiate representatives waited in a vast chamber. 3 different species stood before them: the crystalline archons, the biomechanical synaptics, and the energy-based quantum collective. All were ancient, all were powerful, and all were visibly disturbed by humanity's achievements. "You have created uncertainty," the Archon speaker began, its crystalline form refracting light in complex patterns. "In 50,000 years, the protocol has maintained order. Species prove their worth by mastering our knowledge. Progress is controlled, predictable. Progress without change is stagnation," Dr. Wang responded. "Your own data proves it. Your technological advancement has plateaued for millennia." The synaptic representative writhed its biomechanical tendrils. "Our civilization spans galaxies. We have achieved perfection." "Perfection is a cage," Lieutenant Reyes said, activating a holographic display. "Look at your own power systems. They're operating at quantum limits you established eons ago, but we've proved those limits were artificial." Dr. Chen stepped forward, her voice firm. "The Theseus wasn't just a test for us, was it? It was a monument to your own limitations. Every species you've uplifted has added to your civilization without changing its fundamental nature. Until now." The quantum collective's energy form pulsed with what might have been agitation. "You propose chaos, uncontrolled evolution, the destruction of order. We propose life," General Santos countered. "Real life isn't static. It adapts, evolves, transforms. Your civilization has been alive for 50,000 years, but it stopped growing long ago." Dr. Wang interfaced with the chamber systems, displaying the innovations they'd made to the Theseus. "Look at how we approached faster than light travel. You force your way through space-time. We learn to work with it. Your weapons destroy. Ours protect and redirect. Every system we modified became more efficient, more elegant, more in harmony with the universe itself." The chamber fell silent as the Concordiate representatives processed the data. The implications were undeniable. Humanity hadn't just passed their trial. They'd exposed the trial itself as a mechanism of control rather than progress. "Consider," Dr. Chen said softly, "how many other species might have had similar insights, but conformed to your expectations instead. How much potential has been lost because they tried to prove themselves worthy of joining you rather than helping you grow." The Archon's crystalline surface rippled. "You believe you can teach us. We believe we can learn together," Chen responded. "Your civilization has achieved incredible things, but you've forgotten how to question, how to wonder, how to imagine new possibilities. That's humanity's gift. Not our technology, but our perspective. Lieutenant Rice brought up new diagrams. We've already identified 17 major systems that could be fundamentally improved by applying our principles. Not just made more powerful, but more elegant, more efficient, more in tune with the natural laws of the universe. And that's just the beginning, General Santos added. Imagine what we could achieve together if you embraced change instead of fearing it. The quantum collective's form stabilized into a new pattern. In all our history, no species has dared to suggest we were imperfect. Imperfection isn't a flaw, Dr. Wong said. It's an opportunity. It's what drives us to improve, to innovate, to evolve. Perfect things can't grow, can't change, can't live. The three Concordiate representatives conferred in frequencies beyond human perception. When they turned back, their decision would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of galactic civilization itself. The Archon spoke. Perhaps it is we who have failed the true test. The test of growth. The changes swept through the galaxy like ripples in a cosmic pond. 1 year after humanity's unconventional response to the Theseus protocol, the Concordiate was transforming in ways its founders had never imagined. Dr. Chen stood at the observation deck of the New Horizons Academy, a massive space station orbiting Jupiter, where humans and aliens worked together to reimagine technologies that had remained unchanged for millennia. Below her, the modified Theseus docked alongside vessels from a dozen different species, each incorporating elements of humanity's innovative approach. The latest results from the synaptic colonies are impressive, Dr. Wong reported, joining her at the window. They've adapted our quantum harmonics principles to their biological technology. Their efficiency ratings have increased by 300%. And more importantly, Lieutenant Rice added, now captain of her own vessel, they're starting to innovate on their own. They're not just following our examples, they're finding new possibilities we never considered. The greatest change wasn't in the technology itself, but in the civilization using it. The rigid hierarchy of the Concordiate had given way to a more dynamic, collaborative structure. Species that had once simply accepted their assigned roles were now questioning, experimenting, contributing in unprecedented ways. The Quantum Collective has proposed something interesting, General Santos announced as she entered, her uniform now bearing both Earth and Concordiate insignia. They want to explore the space between dimensions, not to conquer it, as they once might have, but to understand it, to work with it. Dr. Chen smiled. And the Archons, still struggling with the concept of imperfection as a virtue, Santos chuckled. But they're learning. Their latest crystal matrices are deliberately asymmetric. They're discovering that controlled chaos can lead to stronger structures than perfect order. The observation deck's displays showed similar transformations occurring throughout known space. Ships were becoming more organic in design, working with natural forces rather than against them. Weapons were being converted into tools for exploration and protection. Even the fundamental ways species communicated and collaborated were evolving. We've received another 100 applications for the exchange program, Wong noted, reviewing his datapad. Species that have been part of the Concordiate for thousands of years want to send their brightest minds here, to learn how to think differently. A soft chime announced an incoming transmission. The holographic form of the Archon speaker materialized, no longer rigid and crystalline, but flowing with new patterns and possibilities. The Council has reached a decision, it announced. The Theseus protocol will be fundamentally revised. Future species will not be tested on their ability to match our achievements, but on their potential to contribute new perspectives, to help us grow. And humanity's role? General Santos asked. You will help us design the new trials. Your gift for seeing beyond the obvious, for questioning the assumed, for finding harmony instead of imposing order. These are the qualities we now seek to nurture. Dr. Chen stepped forward. And what of the original Theseus protocol? The ship that brought us all together. The Archon's form shimmed with what might have been amusement. We believe you humans have a saying. If you replace all the parts of a ship, Is it still the same ship? The Theseus was never about the technology it contained. It was about the potential for transformation. You simply showed us a transformation greater than we had imagined possible. As the transmission ended, the humans looked out at the busy shipyards around Jupiter. Vessels of all shapes and sizes underwent modifications, each incorporating elements of multiple species innovations. But more importantly, each represented a new way of thinking about humanity's place in the cosmos. You know what the best part is? Lieutenant Reyes said softly, "We're still just beginning. Every new collaboration, every shared insight, it all leads to more possibilities." Dr. Wong nodded. The Concordia thought they had reached the peak of possible achievement. We showed them that there is no peak, only new horizons. And that, Dr. Chen concluded, watching a newly modified ship test its harmonic drive, leaving ripples of quantum possibility in its wake, is humanity's true gift to the galaxy. Not our technology, not our innovations, but our endless capacity to imagine what comes next. The Theseus still orbited Earth, now a museum and research center. But its legacy wasn't in its ancient hull or advanced systems. Its legacy lived in every new question asked, every assumption challenged, every possibility imagined. Humanity had passed their trial by proving something profound. True advancement comes not from mastering what is, but from imagining what could be. And in doing so, they hadn't just earned their place among the stars. They had shown the stars themselves new ways to shine.